They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that will lead to a 3rd and goal. Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll fake the give. Now Williams steps away. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. Last week they got the victory against the Colts, so they lead this one as well as they begin things here 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Here's Lawrence. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. He targets Ingram for another grab. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On play action, Lawrence. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Gabriel Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. He took the hit when he threw that ball. Maybe the O-line just thankful that that worked out for a touchdown.
Yeah, because, you know, their pride is don't let that guy get hit, no matter what, under any circumstances. But anytime it pays off in a touchdown, they'll figure out how to block a little bit better going forward.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, you know, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screen play is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. That is Josh Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go to the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. A short throw to Ingram. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Lawrence changing the play. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears will take over here just shy of the 30. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
But the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 2nd and 5. Flushed out right. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang at